Why, hello again, you worms. Welcome back to another episode of Gab O'Clock. What's Gab O'Clock, you may ask? Well, it's more of my unscripted videos where I just talk at you and you listen. Think of it as like a radio show. So if that sounds good to you, I hope you sit back, maybe draw a little. I don't care. Just enjoy the show. Okay, so what I'm working on here is just a poster that I did for the winner of the Patreon poll, a character poll that I try to do at least once a month. I'm not always successful, but I try to do it. But the winner of that poll was Anita Needy from Jennifer's Body. And I thought it would be really fun to try and test my illustration skills. I like to use the monthly polls as a way to try and execute ideas and complete ideas. It's a way for me to accomplish tasks at a certain deadline, and so far I've been doing pretty okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. I don't think I've missed a few months, but whatever. I feel like I've started and finished all of the Patreon winners, so that's been very satisfying. As for this specific illustration, I was very, very inspired by this wonderful movie poster for the movie Blackout by Nicholas Roeg. I don't know if that's how you say it, but it also goes by another title, which is Bad Timing / A Sensual Obsession. I don't know what's the true title for this movie, but none of that matters. What matters is that this illustration is just magnificent. I love it so much. I've been obsessed with this poster for years. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've used it as inspiration, but I just really, really love everything about it. I love the detail of the protagonist or antagonist, where it's like more realistic, and then you have the more stylized nude woman that's cutting through. I don't know, I just love it. It's brilliant. It's so brilliant, and I can only hope to achieve even half of what this artist has achieved in this drawing. And what makes me sad is that I don't know who made this. I don't know who illustrated this. There's not really a credit to whoever painted it, and that bums me out because there's so much art, so much great art that is out there that is just uncredited. And if any of you guys can possibly do the work to find who illustrated this, I will give you a giant kiss, and also I will do a doodle request for you for free. So if you could find who did this, please let me know. And if multiple people tell me who it is, I'll just find the first earliest comment that lets me know who drew it, and then I'll do your doodle request. How's that sound? Okay, so let's just get right into it. I feel like shit. Why do I feel like shit? Because of something so silly, so minuscule, but important to me, okay? I recently posted a video about myself going to Vegas and going to WrestleMania weekend, and because my video didn't hit 1K views overnight, I feel like I failed.
Boring.
I know, you've heard it all before, the great YouTubers lament, but unfortunately when these things become your full-time job or your main source of income, it feels like the numbers matter a lot more than it ever did before. Cause on YouTube, when like for example, I had a video that hit 170,000 views, which is big for me, and I ended up getting 3 figures. Not a huge 3 figures, but a nice healthy 3 figures, and it was very, very helpful. And my recent video got like not even a quarter of that, which means that I get less and less money, and I don't get to hit the threshold that I'm supposed to hit on YouTube in order to collect money. So I basically don't get paid. And that's basically what happens to a lot of people who do YouTube, is they're trying to hit this peak over and over and over and over again so that they can have a consistent paycheck. And it sucks. I hate being that guy. I hate being the person who has to go into the guts of like my YouTube videos and look at the analytics and be like, this video wasn't a 5 or 10 out of 10, it was a 5 out of 10, or my CPM or whatever the fuck is in there.
Okay, throw me some numbers.
And I generally don't know what any of that means, but all I know is that if I don't get the confetti, it means that my video was a fucking flop. And maybe this is a silly word to use, but to me, it's scary when I start to think this way, because it is so easy to fall into the trap of completely basing all of your work, all of your videos and art on what is the most appealing. And what happens is I begin to think that the very unique and exciting ideas to me are not worth putting time or effort into, because those videos will not generate the views or income that will help me solidify this as a career. I don't like doing it because I feel like it cheapens my work. And I'm just gonna say it, I feel like it cheapens other people's works as well. Sorry. You just get a vibe that people are just making videos simply because it does well in the algorithm and everyone gets to see it. And it's like, I totally understand. There's a marketing to it, there's a business you gotta upkeep and all that. But it just sucks to see artists, people who are meant to kind of go against the grain, people who are meant to, I don't know, have something to say, become people who simply base their entire body of work on what is advertiser friendly or what is just the most consumable to the most people possible. Like, I don't know if you guys are seeing this, but I'm starting to see a lot more art YouTubers become guys who just read comments on the latest micro drama on TikTok. And listen, I know I'm like always complaining about this. I think this is like the third video where I'm complaining about like artists on YouTube sucking on the same tit of creativity. Remember the tit of creativity from like my Christmas video, whatever. I just hate it when artists just try to be as trendy as possible. It just drives me insane. I never liked it. And I'm sorry if I sound like a cockhead, but I am. But the reality is, these types of videos always hit. They are always hitting it out of the park. And if you're not constantly updating your audience about the latest art dramas caused by middle schoolers, you're either a teacher, you're a how-to guide, you're a tutorial. That's basically the meta of YouTube artists right now. And I feel like that kind of has always been the meta, because I look back at my older videos and the ones that have the most views are ones where I'm complaining about the art community or ones where I'm teaching you guys something. But the teaching videos always blow up like crazy. Like, it's insane. It's no wonder why there's so many quote-unquote teachers on YouTube. But I don't want my artwork, my whole being, to be synonymous with tutorials and with learning. I want my work to represent me and like me at my core. But it feels like right now, the only guaranteed job artists can get is to either be guy who relays art drama online and just says, look what Glip Glorp did today, the TikTok comments are dragging him. Or you could be a teacher. That's kind of your options right now. And I feel like leaning into the teacher bit, I am seeing more of a demand in that. A lot of it is in high demand. Like, giving tips, making videos on how to be successful, making videos on what brushes you use, just anything that could give people almost like a shortcut to being a successful artist. I don't know. I just don't like that. Because I feel like, especially since we're in the recession and all that, and quote unquote post-COVID, I think people have truly lost a respect in crafts and visual arts. People feel like there is no more need to actually pay professionals to do anything anymore. Am I just making shit up? Because I feel like there's been an uptick in DIY, and I love DIY, trust me, but it's like, baby girl,
Is it good?
you can't do it all, and that's okay, because that's what we're here for. Pay us. I think especially with the introduction of generative AI, so many people do not understand the artistic process or what it takes to be a professional artist. People think that if you just take a 2-week art course, you're gonna fucking become Norman Rockwell or something, and that's just not how it works. But I think that's the problem. People want to be Norman Rockwell so that they never have to pay Norman Rockwell. Art is no longer something you indulge in or just enjoy, but now a means to make money. We are at a very strange time where people do not find worth in simply taking in and appreciating art. I know I'm gonna sound like those, 25-year-olds who are like, remember 2013? But remember 2013 and remember just like the 2010s where you would sit down and watch a whole speed paint and just be inspired and be like, wow, that was really cool. I liked that a lot. Or you would I feel like there was a better appreciation of artists and our craft, what we do. People were delighted to just see our work, and that was enough. Just seeing the work and admiring it and just being like, wow, this is so cool. I wonder how they did this and that. And kind of letting that curiosity lead them to experiment, because that's what happened to me. That's what I did, because I was too nervous to ask artists, what brushes they used and everything. But now it's like, artists don't gatekeep this and this and that. It's like, I get it, but it's like, damn, don't you just want to look at the art? Don't you want to just try to understand instead of demanding how the sausage is made every goddamn time? Being a professional artist right now feels very bleak, I gotta say, because not only do people are starting to have these negative feelings towards artists and art, but artists themselves are telling you that the only way to make it is to follow the meta, follow their lead. And as much as I always tell you guys how much I hate that kind of shit, part of me is like, should I just give in? Should I do those things in order to make a living? Should I peruse TikTok for any minute art drama so that I can talk about it for 15 minutes and collect a paycheck? Should I just accept that people don't care about my art, nor do they want to interact with my stuff in a meaningful way? Boo-hoo, boo-hoo, boo-hoo. None of that is true though, is it? That's not true. But I guess I've just been feeling so negatively about my professional journey as an artist, because the reality is I'm not making much. I'm making bubkiss. And when I go out with friends who have actual real jobs and who don't feel a twinge when spending $10, I just think, what am I doing? What's it all for? What is this journey I'm on? Like recently, I hung out with a friend, one of my best friends, IRL, and she is so sweet. She's the sweetest person ever. She paid for absolutely everything in that outing. I don't think I paid a goddamn thing. And I felt very bad because I don't like when people do that. Not that I don't like it, but I just feel bad when people do that, because I'm like, I can't pay you back. Please stop. Oh God, I feel like shit. And I remember I told her, I'm like, you know what? You don't have to pay for everything. You don't have to do that. I can pay for it myself, obviously, knowing that I couldn't pay for it myself. And she turned to me, and I'm paraphrasing, but she was like, hey, listen, I know your situation. I got the money. You've seen my money. I can pay for it. I know that it would be a lot for you to take on these kind of prices, and I want to help you out. And believe me, I was very, very grateful for that. But in my head, I was just thinking, oh my God, I'm never gonna stop hearing this. I'm always gonna be the friend that needs money.
Do you need some money?
Like, once you get to a certain age, once you're in your 30s, this just hits a lot differently. You know, when I was like 25, it was cute, you know, following my dreams. I'm doing the thing. I'm going the road less traveled. Now I feel like it's not so cute. Now I feel like it's like, okay, this is getting kind of sad.
Have you signed up for therapy yet?
I'm beyond repair.
I hate feeling like this because I'm someone who really I love art. I love making art, and doing it as a career was something I've always strived for, and it's something that I knew that I could do. But it's not easy. It's not easy when you are competing with people who are not just better than me skill-wise, but people who are not afraid to shed a little bit of their integrity to get there, I guess. And I know you're gonna be like, Jay, God, you're such a hater. You're just jealous. Of course I am. Of course I'm jealous. I want money. I want to move out. I want to live a nice life, okay? All right? Sue me, okay? So when I see that my videos aren't constantly hitting the peak numbers that it needs to, and that I'm not making as much money or getting much commissions or anything, I just feel unaccomplished. I feel poor. I feel like I am poor, but I feel like it's not worth putting in so much effort, so much work, when all I get in return is less and less. And I know I sound like such a bitch, but it feels this way. And it's frustrating because I can't do what those guys do. I can't just become a tutorial guy. I can't just become a drama guy. I just can't do it. I care too much about my art and what I put out. And I think it is to my detriment, unfortunately. I just feel tired. It's like I'm just wasting my energy trying to do something that is damn near impossible. And perhaps I should just take these failures as a sign to just accept that maybe it was never meant to be and give up. And that is where this video would have ended if I were a smart person. But I never said that I was a smart person. So let me explain myself. So for some reason, despite all of my previous feelings being true, I've convinced myself that I'm different. And that perhaps maybe I'm at a point where most people give up and do the right thing, but I feel like I'm close to something. I feel like I gotta keep going. And if you're in a similar situation as I am, but you're like, I think I'm done here, fucking save yourself the heartache. Just do it. It's fine. I love quitting, alright? There's no shame in quitting. But I know that I can do this. I know that I can be a full-time artist because my work is good. I am a good artist. I am a good entertainer. I'm kind of funny, right? And I'm creative, and I think outside of the box. And yes, I know I'm blowing hot air up my own ass, and you're probably like, wow, Jay, that's a little bit fucking conceited of you. But very rarely do people with zero confidence in themselves succeed. You kind of have to be the Rachel Berry of your field. And right now, unfortunately, I gotta be the Rachel Berry. So this just means that I have to acknowledge the qualities in me that make me a viable candidate to be a successful artist. I have a unique perspective that's valuable to share, and you guys may have this as well. But we're talking about me, and I got a song in me that I gotta sing. I don't know, maybe the inner repressed theater kid in me is starting to finally come out. But in all seriousness, I do think it's important to have this attitude if you're going into this field seriously. I know that this career path is just not easy. Since I was a kid, I've been hearing, being an artist, it's not really great, you don't make a lot of money, and you don't. They're right, you don't. This shit's for the birds. But I think I understand now that this is simply the journey of being an artist. The thing about being an artist, the reality of being a full-time artist is that you will face constant rejection, especially in the beginning of your career. You are going to face so much rejection. You're going to hear so many no's. You're going to have so many videos with little to no views. That just comes with it. And it's so easy to give into that despair of no one likes my stuff, everyone thinks I'm ugly, no one likes my art, and people, they just love slop. That's what they want slop. And it's like, you know what, I want to think that no, people don't want slop, they just consume slop. It's our job to give them something of quality, something that'll inspire them. There are people who do appreciate art and do appreciate artists. Yes, you have to find them, but that's why you keep posting, you keep working, you keep doing it, because they'll be there eventually. And this could also just be poor man's mentality, where you're just like, one must suffer like Job before they reap the benefits, the fruits of their labor and all that. But if I don't get back up and try again, the only other option is to quit art full time, get a real actual job, and just have it as my hobby. And that is not a failures path. If you chose that path, that's totally fine. I actually highly respect you for that, and that's awesome. You know how many incredible artists have to just do it as a hobby? I have no problem with that. But the thing is, if I were to do that, I think I would die.
I was just kidding!
If I did that, I truly think I would just physically curl up on the floor like a salted slug and just shed my mortal coil. Like, that's a wrap for me. That's it. And I know you're probably like, okay, Mr. Big Shot, fucking too good for a normal job, thinks he can just skyrocket to the top. And that's the thing, I know I can. I know it's taking a long time. I know it's gonna be a long time. And that there's a lot of failures that I have to get through. But listen, you miss 100 of the shots you don't take. And I'm positive I'm at my 101 missed shot. But the thing about me is that I will see the glass half full. I have to. If I don't, I just die. If YouTube is like, fuck you, this video's trash, we're not showing it to anyone. Also, everyone disliked it. And I just have to get right back up and keep pushing and just be like, fuck you. Someone liked it, and that is one thing I can guarantee. Someone will like it. There's at least a guaranteed 500 views in all my videos, at least. And you know who those 500 people are? That's my core audience. And you know what kind of support you get from a core audience? Those are people who come to your live streams. Those are people who pay for your, digital assets, for your physical assets. Those are ride or dies. And they don't all just show up at once. They all come with time, one at a time. I'm sure they've told mukbangers once upon a time, like, who the hell would pay, or how the hell can you make a career from chewing with your mouth open like a horse in front of a camera? But listen, I bet you they had at least 500 people who were like, I'm down with this. I love this shit. Give me more. Even hearing myself talk like this, I do feel like I'm kind of losing my marbles, but at a certain point, I guess we all lose our marbles, And when you go down this path of chasing your dreams, specifically as an artist, it is a grueling, payless, and thankless journey. It truly is. But I love every minute of it. At least the art making aspect. I love it. It brings me absolute joy, and it's fun. I love to express myself artistically, but I am also not someone who's like, do what you love and never work a day in your life. I know this is work, but this is work and stress and effort that I feel is worth it. It's all worth it. And I know that taking this path of most resistance, of avoiding trends and all that, is making this journey so much harder than it needs to be. And this is gonna sound crazy, but I just have hope that I can do it. All I have is hope. And listen, the thing about trends is that they are trends. They will eventually come and go. And when those trends go, that is when the true quality of your work and your videos are revealed. And that's how I operate. I want my work to stand outside of what is popular, of what is the meta. I want my work to be timeless. You know, I still go back to my Jungle Boy video. I just watch bits of it because I'm still so proud of that. And that's what I want. And I do think that's what attracts the ride or dies. I think your strongest warriors, your strongest soldiers will appear when you make videos that are just from the heart, are just from your taint and your balls. It's really sad when you see videos of YouTubers begging their audience to please watch my video. I know that this isn't a trending topic anymore. I know this meme is dead, but please, I worked so hard on it. And it's like, if you had 500 people who were ride or dies, you wouldn't need to ask that ever. And sure, maybe this way of thinking makes me a delusional and crazy person. And yes, I am a delusional and crazy person, but I am also a passionate person. And I think that's one of the things that makes me stand out a little bit. It's so normal for artists to express how much art stresses them out or makes them upset that there's not enough expression of love towards art. And I'm not just talking about loving the end result, but actually loving the craft. And maybe it's because I grew up on shows like Blue's Clues or Pappyland where drawing seemed so fun and exciting. But that's exactly what I want to do with my art and my YouTube channel. I want to make people excited about art because art is awesome.
You've gotta have art. All you really need is art.
And maybe I'm giving myself too big of shoes to fill, but I truly think that we all have this in us, and not everyone decides to follow the crazy voice in their head. Unfortunately, I always follow the crazy voice in my head. Maybe it's because as a kid, I was always told what I couldn't do, and slowly, as I got older, I just kept rejecting that. Like, I remember I joined the school play because I didn't like being told that I wasn't a part of it. I don't know, it pissed me off, so I joined the school play. That's just how it is here.
See, I'm telling you, I have the mind of a master. I have the mind
I think it's just in me. Maybe it's not the smartest thing, but I never said I was a smart person, alright? I'm not the smartest guy in the crayon box, or whatever the saying is, but that just means, unfortunately to my haters, the show will go on. Well, this was this month's Gab O'Clock. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you stick around for the next video. And if you got a song in your heart that you want to sing, well, by God, sing it. Sorry for showing you Glee in 2025, but I thought it would help solidify my point. Anyways, thank you to my loving patrons: Star, Krogezel, Finn, Loki, McMarthy, Fred by Dawn, Ragna, Lao Meg, Snooka Snurk, Bromivs, Worthy Kids, Ice Wyatt, Scribble and Dibble Patron, Snail Bart, Sko and Stotus, Lunchworm, Sneeze, Melody, Annie, Isle of Lines, Inga, Eep, Stinky Poo Poo, Grayson, Severin, Halo, Catherine, Cat, April Ray, Kennedy B, Maria, Faith, Kip, Al Green, The Gay Cousin, Jasper Stark, Tired Eltrich, Scout Fish, Adri M, Grapefruit Soda Hibiscus, Ipeen, Mindu, Ran Kita Kita, Debbed, Favorite Brendan, Fox Moore, Ghost Latil, Des, Talia, Kicked Puppy, Sparking Bright, Ravencroft, Valentina S, Squidfish, Tangorine, Zamil, Sherry Wang, Adrian, Sazzle, Luherus, Nini Latte, and Uneasy and Uncertain. Thank you so much for your support, for your financial support. $3 a month is all it takes to put a little crumb of bread and cheese on my table. And if you'd like to join in on that, all you gotta do is pitch in about $3 or $7 and you will get early access to my art and videos, speed paints, full resolution files of my art pieces, a chance to get your favorite character drawn by me, and more. So I hope to see you in the next video, and thanks again. Bye.